Dungeons & Dragons has an array of playable races. They range from the more elegant to the monstrous and everything in between. They are spread through the multiverse, some sticking to certain hemispheres, while others travel all over and build great and powerful empires. Hello adventurers, and thank you for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. Today we are talking about the youngest and most widespread of these races. These are the stories of a restless people who long ago took to the seas and the rivers in longboats, first to pillage and terrorize, then to settle. Yet there was an energy, a love of adventure that sang from every page. Long into the night Uriel read, lighting candle after precious candle. She'd never given much thought to humans, but these stories fascinated her. In these yellowed pages were tales of bold heroes, strange and fierce animals, mighty primitive gods, and magic that was part and fabric of that distant land. Aline Cunningham, daughter of the Drow. Dungeons & Dragons Player Handbook 5th edition, page 29. In most worlds, humans are usually the youngest race to come about. They are far shorter lived than their elder counterparts within the dwarves and elves. Mayhap because of their shorter lives, they seem more motivated to expand, build, and reach the furthest ends of the planes that they are living on. Because of this, their wanderlust, their penchant for exploration and migration exceeds all other races. Humans come in many different shapes and sizes. This differs from most other common races. They can be anywhere from 5 feet to just over 6 feet in height or taller, and generally weigh around 125 to 250 pounds, but can weigh less or more depending on the human. Their skin tone can be almost black to extremely pale. Human personalities are as diverse as their appearance. Being very adaptable and ambitious, they can thrive in many environments. Their tastes, morals, and customs vary farther and wider than any of the other races. However, when they find a home, they tend to stay there and build villages, towns, cities, and kingdoms that can last thousands of years. One human lifespan may be short and insignificant, but their nations and cultures persist, with their traditions reaching back further than any living human can recall. They live fully in the present, which is why the wild and unexplored world calls to them so readily, and makes them particularly suited to the adventurous lifestyle. However, even with their wanderlust, humans tend to plan for the future as well, wanting to leave behind a lasting legacy, where a single elf or dwarf might take on the responsibility of guarding a sacred place or a powerful secret. Humans will form an order or an institution to accomplish the same task, where dwarf clan or halfling elders teach new generations their ancient traditions. Humans will build those traditions into the bedrock of their history through libraries, temples of worship, governments, and their code of law. Humans have always dreamed of immortality, and through your common everyday human, immortality is truly out of their reach. But through their traditions and cultures, humanity has gained immortality, because what better way to truly live on than through the hearts and the minds of others? The most daring and ambitious members of the human race are those who seek out adventure. They want to earn glory in the eyes of their peers, by way of growing power, amassing wealth, and obtaining fame, to write their names in the annals of history, to leave their mark on the world and never be forgotten. While humans are wholly unique in their appearance, morals, and way of thinking, when a player creates a human, they obtain 1 point in each ability score. Their age of adulthood is late teens, and they rarely live past the age of 100, though it is possible through less than natural means. As for alignment, there is no set standard. As mentioned, human morality varies, so one could morally be the best person, always helping others and doing what they can for the good of their community. Or they could be a corrupt, filthy piece of shit. Well, that was to be expected. Who keeps censoring me? You're gonna get... I swear to the gods. Anyways, they could be a terrible person, exploiting the innocent, terrorizing the land, and more. Then there's everything in between. So really, the player can make their human's morality anything they like. Humans are generally medium-sized creatures, between 5 and 6 feet as mentioned previously, but there are occasions where they can be smaller or larger. However, this is usually at the DM's discretion. As a human, they can move up to 30 feet in one round. That's 6 tiles or 6 inches if the group has a battle map to play on. So humans are pretty fast, though there are some faster races. They speak speak and read Common as their primary language, as well as one other language of the player's choice. But, like in the real world, even if they don't know any other language, they will typically add words and phrases from other races, generally words they've learned over time while dealing with others. Humans are by far the most popular race, and even knowing that, people still consider the race basic, with the racial attribute to give the player a +1 in all ability scores. It's rather easy to understand why, but there are now variants to human that don't have that racial attribute, thanks to Eberron and their house marks. There's even a different variation of human that has 2 ability scores increased by 1 instead of all of them, plus gaining proficiency in 1 skill of the player's choice, and a feat. Some players may want to take this over the regular human variant, and I wouldn't blame them. However, by far, human is my favorite race, mainly for the bonuses, but I'm also basic since fighter is my favorite class. I have branched out and played other class race combos, and have plans in the works for more. That being said, when it comes to long games, I'll fall back on my fighter human, but I'll generally mix up the subclass and go with something I haven't done before. Humans can fit into just about every class imaginable. They make great clerics, wonderful wizards, intense barbarians, amazing fighters, fantastic sorcerers, well-rounded warlocks, down-to-earth druids, awesome rangers, devout paladins, outstanding bards, furious monks, and the best rogues. So, if this is one of your favorite races, play it to your heart's content, regardless of what anybody else says. So that's it for the human race of D&D 5e, but that's not the end of the discussion. Comment below and let me know how you feel about the humans of D&D. Thank you for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. As always, I'm your host, Ginsu Weaver, and remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Donuts are the best breakfast food, so eat up, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next rendition of D&D Discussions.